In this video, I will share with you some tips to improve your fluency skills. The first one is to use fillers. It's important that you use fillers or short phrases in order to cover those spaces in which you can be muted or that you need time to organize the new sentences or the new structures you're going to mention, right? It is useful in presentations and also in regular conversations. So it's possible that you use words as well, in fact, I know, I mean, you know, in order to fill those spaces. However, we don't have to abuse of them, right? Because we have to use them when we really need that time instead of using a or a in order to think. So instead of making unnecessary pauses, try to use these fillers when you're speaking. The second tip is word linking. Word linking is very important when we speak in English. And when we have an intermediate level or more, it's easier to apply it, right? So if a word finishes in consonant, for example, and the other one starts with a vowel, we can link them. And this is the natural way American people speak, right? So it's important to use them properly or to apply word linking properly. Other way to use word linking is to use contractions. Many of the pronouns in the negative forms have contractions. So we have to know that they exist and speak in that way. Use them when we are speaking, right? So take this into account as a tip and we can see something extra about word linking in the coming exercise. We have here, for example, words that are that finish with a consonant and the other one starts with a vowel or vice versa. So we can say travel abroad or we can say travel abroad. And in that moment, I am applying word linking. He starts or he starts. We can also mention that there are some words that start and finish with the same letter. So we can make just one. Speaks Spanish. Speaks Spanish. Then, for example, there are some object pronouns and contractions like talk to him or she is cool. So we say talk to him, she's cool. And in that way, we join those words together and this is the thing that provokes word linking. And this is going to help you to get more fluent because your speed is going to be similar to the native ones. The third tip is to get familiarized with the rhythm. The rhythm, as well as music, English, or any language has its own rhythm, right? So English rhythm and stress is different from other languages. So it is important to know how it works. In English, some words provide information and they are emphasized, as for example, verbs, nouns, and adjectives. They are telling us how the things are. So we have to emphasize, like giving little bit more strength in our voice. And the ones that are really short, as articles or prepositions, they are not emphasized. So when you pay attention, for example, to a listening exercise or to an audio, you're going to see that those words, the ones that have information, are the ones that are pronounced a little bit stronger. And this is what you have to do when you speak in order to get the rhythm of English. If you apply the rhythm exercises, you are going to speak more fluent as well. Some examples of getting the rhythm of words that we can apply in that way. Cream and sugar. Cream and sugar. I had a cup of coffee. I had a cup of coffee. I want to take a break. I want to take a break. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. When do you arrive? When to arrive? In this way, you can apply those and your fluency is getting better because you are following the rhythm. Tip number 4 is speed reading. If you want to apply this, the best way to do it is reading aloud and taking your time. I mean, when I say taking your time, is measuring it with a chronometer. So you play the chronometer and you have to read it fast each time, but without forgetting to pronounce properly. So it's a matter of pronunciation and speed at the same time. It's a very good training. And if you do it daily with a different paragraph each day, it is going to have, well, it is going to pay off really quickly. I can tell you that in 2 weeks, if you do it daily, it is going to make a very big difference in your, we can say, fluency when speaking. Then we have tip number 5, that is tongue twisters. Tongue twisters are amazing and very good tools to get better in fluency. So you can use any tongue twister that you find on the web, and you can read it as fast as possible as well, making emphasis on the words that you need to emphasize. So you're going to apply the idea of rhythm, the idea of speed reading, and also you are getting a, we can say, higher level of difficulty at the moment that you choose a tongue twister, because those are words that are very similar and that you have to pronounce really quickly. So if you need to improve on this area, this is going to be the best thing you can do. And finally, well, everything works if you can, we can say, evaluate yourself. So recording yourself is the best tip that I can give you in order to get better in fluency. Any of the exercises that we did before, you can do it by recording yourself. And when you record yourself and check what you said, you find your mistakes. And in that moment, you start monitoring yourself. So in later, you're going to have the tools in order to correct it. And the most important, you can see if you are speaking like, I don't know, fast, but it is understandable, or if you need to improve some things in order to get better on spontaneous speaking. So try to apply all these tips together, and you're going to see a very big difference on your fluency skills.